halfway through the second period. Mark Munoz of Oklahoma State with a 5-2 lead on Pat Quirk of Illinois. Munoz seemed a bit frustrated early on by Quirk, but maybe has found a weakness in Quirk's defense.
But I like what Munoz does is he allows Quirk to charge into him, and he starts hopping backwards, and then off of one of those resets he fires forward into the legs, and what he's really looking for is the single to Quirk's right leg. That's where he seems to be operating best. But with a 5-2 lead here, that's enormous for Munoz. He's good in close matches. And it's a solid defense that's really frustrating Quirk. Quirk really only had one opportunity, and Munoz took it away from him. Here's another one now.
But he's not been able to follow through. And with 8 seconds.
Right, time's against him here, Lon. See if he can finish. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Nope.
Munoz hangs on.
Hey, you got to go hard on that. Let's go. Good shot now.
John Smith looking on as his wrestler Mark Munoz of Oklahoma State takes the top position on Pat Quirk of Illinois. Munoz with a 5-2 lead here in the final of 197 pounds. Beginning seconds of period number 3. Munoz is the Big 12 champ as well, and the stall warning against Munoz by a referee, David Hickson. What was the reason for that, Jeff?
The stall call was given because Munoz was simply riding, wasn't doing anything to try to threaten Quirk in terms of creating back exposure or near fall points. If you can get perpendicular to your opponent out to the side, they won't hit you for stalling. But when you stay behind in line and just hang, they're going to whack you.
Munoz now up top on Quirk. No riding time so far in this match. Munoz has 40 seconds of it now, but cuts him loose. So another point for Quirk, another escape point. And again, Quirk just a takedown away from tying up this match. 5-3.
What a move by Munoz. Oh, wow. Nice duck to turn. Quirk goes flying off the mat. Once again, Munoz avoids a potential scoring opportunity for Quirk.
Quirk has found something, perhaps.
There's the Munoz half shot. Nice change of direction by Quirk to spin behind, but Munoz very much on balance, turns to face and counters him out.
So now the final minute of these seniors' college career. Munoz with the lead. Will he be complacent and hang back? Pat Quirk needs to go all out. The number 7 seed has surprised many people to get into this championship final.
Munoz has just been solid this entire tournament. He shuts down a little bit here, and that may cost him with a stalling call.
Out of bounds.
But Munoz thrives on being defensive. He likes backing up a little bit because he feeds off the person coming.
You want to call him, you got to go. Come on, you're behind.
Head coach Mark Johnson of Illinois telling him if they want the referee to call him for stalling, you've got to have attacks, not just push, but attacks, threatening attacks, and maybe you get a point for doing that. But what he wants more than anything is a takedown. A takedown will knock the match, put it in overtime.
You have to shoot now, is what Mark Johnson's been telling him.
Here's a position he could score in. Munoz was stuck on his hip, but he's able to get back to his knees.
21 seconds to go. Pat Quirk frustrated. I think he's got the tools, but he just can't get in position to use them, Jeff.
In on a nice shot. Munoz, he was able to counter him down. Had a position that he might have been able to spin on, but he could not find the space to start that spin.
Saw Munoz just glance up at the clock. He knows 2 seconds, 1, and it's over. Pat Quirk's challenge to the top ends with a runner-up position. Oklahoma State has another national champion in the name of Mark Munoz, the number 1 seed, living up to that billing, and the senior goes out on top. He had his hands full with Pat Quirk of Illinois, but Munoz's defense was just too stringent to allow Quirk to get in and score. So that's 197. Munoz is the champion. We're coming back with the heavyweights to close out our NCAA wrestling coverage. Tommy Rowlands and John Lockhart. Welcome back to the University of Iowa, and our final matchup in the heavyweight division will be junior John Lockhart of the Illinois Fighting Illini, the number 4 seed, taking on freshman Tommy Rowlands, the 2nd seed of the Ohio State Buckeyes. A lot of matches wrestled between these two guys. 43 wins for Rowlands, 29 for Lockhart. A lot of people thought that the freshman in this final would be Garrett Lowney of Minnesota, but he was taken down in the earlier rounds, leaving these two gentlemen. Rowlands of Ohio State in the red and the blue for John Lockhart.
I talked to Coach Hellickson of Ohio State. He had nothing but great things to say about Tommy Rowlands. Says he moves like a lightweight. And doing a little research, found out when he was in high school, he started out as a 125-pounder, then the 160, then the 189, then the 215, and now as a redshirt freshman, he's probably a solid 235 pounds, and he moves well. Lockhart, on the other hand, not quite the mobility and attacking style of Rowland, but very solid. And what I like about looking at Lockhart is he seems to be able to avenge losses. Comes back and beats people who beat him, and that means he's a learner. Thinks about it, maybe loses a little sleep over it, but he gets the job done. And that was evident when Lowney defeated him in the Big Ten Finals, but he came back here in the semifinals of the NCAA National Tournament and beat Lowney.
Well, both of these wrestlers, different build. The champions we have seen in previous years. I talk about Brock Lesnar of Minnesota, Stephen Neal of Bakersfield, 2 behemoth wrestlers. These guys are a little smaller scale.
Yeah, those, particularly Brock Lesnar, was, you know, a lot of power and a lot of muscle, but maybe not as much technique. Good, solid wrestler, but you talk about Stephen Neal. Now, there's a guy who's not only big and solid, he's also got all kinds of technique, and he went on to win the World Championships in 1999.
The same year he won the NCAA championship.
That's correct. He had a big year that year. NCAA, then the Pan Ams, and then on to the World Championships.
Minute 32 in the first period. 3-minute period. Final matchup here at the University of Iowa and the NCAA Division I Wrestling Championships. Lon McCarron along with Jeff Blatnick. It has been an amazing evening of individual performances. An amazing 3 days of team performance by the University of Minnesota, which sealed the team title during the consolation rounds. And there you see, what's he going to do with it? That's what they're wondering.
His one arm's pinned, and Rowland's not going to let him get his one arm back, and that's going to end out of bounds. And Rowland did a nice thing. He could have tried to bump him there, and he didn't. He released him safely. But an interesting position, and Lockhart couldn't capitalize. Normally, when you pick an opponent up, he's helpless. As we like to say when you get someone in the air, there's really no defense for falling.
But Rowland's had a piece of Lockhart, so he managed a stalemate.
It was interesting that one time that Rowland stopped moving, Lockhart hit a single leg shot. Rowland likes to create motion, but he really hasn't caught Lockhart off balance. Needs to snap more, maybe move the head more, and you want to pull the head towards between the feet, whatever direction that is. Lockhart is powerful, though. That stocky frame makes it tough to try to pick the leg up. That's the stuff that Rowlands needs to do right there. Snap the head, make Lockhart take extra steps. We call it unbalancing. Other people say pummeling.
Final seconds of period number 1. No scoring. We'll be back to Iowa in just a moment.